Hey guys, good morning. How are you? I just realized that I'm trying out a new thing with my camera so I can have my face here whilst I have the desk camera going while doing it in StreamYard because I realized I like the simplicity of StreamYard a lot. And it's a lot less to allow it. I mean, it seems nicer to allow StreamYard to basically figure out all the connection stuff because it seems to deal with a internet connection better. Although I feel like I need to redo my overlay because, the duck is kind of in an inconvenient location, but I don't know, we'll see. If I wind up streaming too much on StreamYard, I'll eventually have to pay for it, but, it's always fun. I guess I can get rid of my name because you probably know who I am since there's only one of me. How do I do that? That's a brand thing, I think. Do, 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 do. Okay, you don't need to know my name. My name's up there already. Anyway, I've been really watching a lot of these Stampin' Up! Annual catalog videos, and I haven't seen any from a dude, so I thought I would do my own because that's how we roll. And I thought I would lead off with these are three cards that I actually made at my in real life crop that I know utilize Stampin' Up! Things, and I think they're pretty good, kind of give you sort of a good vibe for the company as a whole. A lot of you guys have probably seen their stuff before, but it's a lot more adult, I would say. Like not in a be a naughty adult, but like just in sort of a more of an elegant vibe. Less so perhaps some of their Christmas stuff. Like the truck's pretty whimsical, but like this is from a suite they did with like a motorcycle for like Father's Day, I think. But a lot of and just a lot of showcasing of pattern paper as well. And this actually, I want to do some of these cards. These are pretty cool. These are a A2 tower card. So they do the normal tower card thingy. But they also do this. You can also use these kind of like a flip book. This was kind of interesting where a deckled rectangle was used. So I've seen these. This doesn't work this way as much as a flip book, but you can actually use these to like tell a story or something like that too. So I've seen some of these that have been used that way that I like. Anyway, I thought I would just lead off with that because I really enjoyed making these cards in real life, and I also feel like I have kind of photo play and Echo Park in like the cute realm already, and Graphic 45 is kind of my vintage paper. So I got interested in Stampin' Up. And then they had a sign up specialty deal thing where you get all of their summer colors for free. So I wound up doing that. So that is, I don't know, not really the point of this video, but I thought it would be interesting just to sort of give you my take on the catalog. I guess for sort of background, I'm definitely an exennial, and that like, do I use catalogs? Not really. I remember them from when I was a kid, but these days I mostly just go and look at things on the internet because that's kind of what we do. Um, and I also was sort of biased into using StreamYard because it's easier to show things. But if you do get one of these, let me know. I'm curious about your take as well. They did a lot of reformatting allegedly through last year. I didn't look at last year's catalog, so I had to go back and take a peek at it, and I understand what people are saying now. But if you get one of these, I would recommend that you not look at the front, but flip it over and start with the back. This is just QR nonsense. You probably know what a QR code is, so feel free to just ignore this page. But this one, this is usually hard info to find on companies, so they do have their angel policy, which is good. The short version of it is if you use a stamped image, they want their little copyright logo on the back of the card, kind of like this. But they basically always have a sort of stamp set, I think, floating around that will give you that. I mean, you could probably just write it as well. But then if I skip 2 pages, the thing you will get is a full index of everything. The way that this catalog is formatted, excuse me, cat, please don't do that. Lennox wants to help. Woo! Here's Lennox. Say hi to the people. Say hello, Mr. Lennox, while we readjust the camera. Lennox is here. Isn't he cute? He's very cute. I guess Lennox would like to give us his thoughts as well. I mean, he's a boy too, so I guess it works out. Anyway, If you want to find anything, the index is important because the way that the stuff's showcased, I think makes it hard to locate any specific thing. Although you can always just go to the website, and I mean that's what I would do because I'm not really a I don't know. Like catalogs, but I don't know that I seek them out. Other things worth mentioning are if you keep going towards the front, you get all the like inks and color families. If you notice, you can buy things. I guess I'll point out two things. One is the only way they are selling 12 by 12 right now is in color families, so it's not the greatest option if you want to make a mini album. So I hope that you can at some point just be able to buy individual 12 by 12 packs. The same way you can buy like 8.5 by 11 and whatever size that you want. So hopefully that will be a thing in the future. I'd also recommend like if you're interested, if you don't own a lot of card stock, like I don't think buying the rainbow is like the smartest option. Like I think you're better off sort of deciding what kind of project you're doing and then just buy the colors you need if you want to try it. The rainbow works fine too if you want to just try everything. But I think that's everything. I guess the one other thing in the back that's worth noting is there is some color theory info. So if you're like me and don't know what all their color names are, it is nice. It's interesting they put things like seafoam and yellow. They make some choices that I'm like, I don't know about that, but generally it's helpful to figure out where things go. This is sorry, this is a little off camera. So there's some color theory stuff. It's probably stuff you've heard from me before. In cards, we see a lot of triadics, not necessarily primaries, but just three colors that are equidistant. I have some examples here, but really it can be any three colors. Analogous, we see a lot. The one that's they're complementary, I think, is a little odd in that both these colors are sort of equal intensities if you look at the card. What you're much more likely to see with complementary color schemes is one of these colors will be de-emphasized or neutraled out. Like you'd see, let's say, in the case of this, you'd see more of a much more neutral the purple, or you use techniques on top of this. Like if you wanted green to be the primary star, or vice versa, if you wanted purple to be your thing. I guess technically this is more of a magenta than a purple, I guess, looking at it in a little more detail. But normally you de-emphasize one of these colors. Anyway, I think that's everything in the back I care about. So now we can start from their front. And they have a lot of lifestyle pictures, and I don't really understand why. And there are a lot of people, I guess. So if you like these kind of lifestyle pictures, there's a lot of stuff in this catalog. I really just want to rip it up and collage with it, especially this like leaf detail, because it's like this main page is sort of matte, and then these leaves are shiny, which I don't know. Oh, you can kind of see it. Yeah, you can kind of see this now. But I think this would be neat, like if you just cut this off and used it as a border somewhere. Obviously, the intention here is probably not for the catalog to do that. I'm going to skip through a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of lifestyle pictures up front. And then you get into sort of their different sections of the catalog. They basically split things into like step by step, which is sort of like a kit with a directed project, and then then sort of quick and easy stuff, which is sort of along the lines of the old Spellbinders ephemera card kits. I'm sorry, you can't see that. We're getting a lot of shine this morning. But I don't know. There's a lot of these pages like this that I'm sort of like, okay, but why? A good example. I don't understand this crafting outside thing either, because I don't think like real people do that because there's wind and rain and like there's no electricity there. Like especially this, I laughed at this picture initially just because I was like, having just been to a crop, it's like in real life these people would all have like a wheelbarrow or like a like a garden wagon full of crafting supplies. So like it wouldn't be like it would be all over the place, right? And then there'd probably be like some extension cords. Anyway, that's not the point. Then then sort of like they talking about their various kit options. Basically, kits are single things you buy, and then like they have a subscription version, which is Paper Pumpkin. Um, and then Quick and Easy is sort of a new thing they're doing. Let's get to the actual. It's not there. This is sort of a thing with this catalog that I find kind of annoying. Is it's hard to look at this page, but it's hard to find stuff. Like you'd assume that you would be in Quick and Easy, and then I just see all my products, but it's the back half of the catalog is kind of set up like that, but the first half is all this lifestyle stuff. Anyway, so basically they're doing ephemera now. And they're also doing these, which are pre-printed card bases with a pattern on them. I want to try these. I'm not sure how I feel. I'm definitely more of I like a clean card base. And then I like, I'd prefer if they had just sort of like had a pack of like pattern paper that was pre-cut for A2s. I might have one right here. I might have one in my copious amount of stuff if I can grab it quickly. Anyway, scrapbook.com has done a bunch of these, and I can't find one, but they've done a bunch of just a paper pad that is an A2 card front size. But I like the idea because, as you guys know, the previous thing I loved were these guys, which were the original Spellbinders Club kits. These are no longer a thing. But what these had was that you'd have a sentiment stamp set, basically. This is a spring one. And you'd have pattern paper. And then you'd have a bunch of ephemera. So I like this as a concept that, like, just like this as a pack, great. And also, Honeybee has card, or not Honeybee, Paper Rose has card kits as well that are sort of like that. They're more like Draft Avalanche. They're more just like pattern paper in the Punch Out ephemera, which I don't know. I think they're cool. I like them, especially when I'm not feeling in the mood to do things. Anyway, more lifestyle nonsense. Eventually, I think they get to the point of showing you that they have products that go together. Where is that? Here we go. No. I swear there's a page that actually shows you how this works, but I can't. This one sort of shows you where you're starting with your card bases and then you're adding things. This is sort of the idea. And these are sort of the pattern packs, right? You have a sentiment one. You have one that's sort of everything. Oh, here we go. The Revolutionary. You can actually see the product. But I think this is geared, but generally this feels very much more geared towards I want to give you inspiration versus like I want to sell you products. Oh, here it is. So this is the page I like. So you basically pick one of these, you pick one of these. You can add a stamp sentiment if you want, or just buy the ephemera that does that. This I think makes sense. I like this page because if you were like brand new to crafting, like you could just see what you want here. That's 19 if anyone is caring. There's a top 10 list, which is sort of scattered in my opinion, but you know, it's a thing. And I put my face over the other demonstrator because my avatar's cuter. But anyway, one of the good basics here. I don't know that I'd argue a punch is a basic. I'd also argue if you're a new stamper, like I don't know that stamping on blocks is going to bring you the most joy when there are a lot of stamp positioners. I'm glad I started with a stamp positioner. It makes it a lot easier. I really hope. I feel like I know that Stampin' Up. I wish Stampin' Up would partner with someone to just do a branded stamp positioner. As you guys know, they were in like legal dealings with My Sweet Petunia forever because they had a stamp positioner called the Stamparatus that My Sweet Petunia thought was infringing on the Misty. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But if you're new, I would say skip the blocks, buy a stamp positioner. And I think that's all I have to say. I do like this. I like the idea of like, sorry, I'm a little off camera, but I like the idea of a basic sentiment stamp set. I definitely want to get this one because I really like this huge hay. And I saw some interesting inspiration where you could stamp the hay in like a very light color and then do a sub sentiment over it. And I kind of want to try that. Um, as viewers of the channel may know, I am not a fan of the like Stampin' spots because they use foam and they use felt as the pad. So they're more like a distress or a ranger pad. I, as you know, am a big fan of Catherine Pooler, and the reason I like it is because they're foam pads and they're easy to actually get ink on stamps, which people tell me that there's this like you can build it up and that's somehow awesome, but yeah, it's not my thing. I like to just apply ink once and have the ink be there. So definitely a fan of this. Good scissors are a must. I would say I was not particularly successful with mono glue when I was new, and that's mostly because the way the applicator works, it's easy to get way too much glue. I would say detail glue bottle will be your friend. I would also say a white glue is a good place to start, but I would get something with a finer tip. With mono, it's very easy to squeeze out way more than you want, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Feel free to try what you want. Some sort of foam tape dimensional thing. I do like their hex dimensional stickery thingies. But I feel like the hexagon kind of can get into corners a little bit better than foam tape, but whatever. So I'm very interested in this product line. I would have liked it better if rather than just doing random stuff, like if these had been more tied into their collections, I think that would have been kind of a cool idea. I do like that they're providing some. They're talking about their color families, but they are providing some inspiration for card sketches. And they're not with measurements, they're just sort of visual. Let me bring this closer so you can see. Like they're just sort of general ideas. And I think that actually is better for a beginner sometimes. I think as a beginner, it's really easy to get hung up on things. Hey Pam, how are you? I'm just being snarky this morning and complaining about a catalog, but I am glad that there are card sketches because like I feel like if you're a beginner and just get paper, you may not know what to do. That was my experience. So I really like the Spellbinders kits because they came with inspiration, but then you kind of are like, well, if I don't want to do a square, what do I want to do? My cat is around too. It helps if I unmute, doesn't it? I think I'm back now. Okay. Anyway, it's page 22. Some of these are like not, like, hey, it's a tag, I mean, I don't know that it's hard to tell. It depends how new you are in some of this stuff anyway. Because it's like stuff like this one where it's like which one? Like, hey, it's a tag. I mean, that some of this stuff are like you probably knew how to do that already. I do like this idea is cool. I've seen this idea done with like embossed paper and really liked it. Anyway, I think it's nice to include that stuff, especially for new people. And we will see what we got. Another sort of fluffy page. Like I mean, we are seeing that we have like a stamp set that's occasions. You probably own ones already. I own at least 6, But I mean, again, I like this kind of as being adjacent to new people stuff. Oh, did I show you this, Pam? I put my face over the demonstrator because I'm like, really, it should be me. Anyway. Morning. I'm slightly salty today because, anyway, it's a weekend. I have the day off. If you actually want to see projects, I'll be live in like 2 hours playing with the Mother's Day card kit. So it's not just all that. But I don't know. I do feel that there are a lot of pages like this that I'm kind of like, I don't know why you're using the real estate. I don't know. Maybe this is just like a me thing or a guy thing. It's like, well, just like get to the products. Like there's a lot of fluff. Anyway, talking about this is sort of scrapbooky things. I think they do. I mean, whoa, where's my mouse? We are technical difficulties today. I think so. I think they will. I mean, I didn't pull that card, but there's a lot of cards that kind of like, I don't know. I'll say there's a tendency, and I don't have one. Actually, let me grab it because there's a really good example. So I like this card, but I'll say the cards you usually see look like that, right? So we have it's a lot of pattern paper and some kind of embellishment and then like a sentiment. So I actually really like this. I don't know. They had iridescent ribbon I missed out buying last year and I'm annoyed. But anyway, if you ever see nice iridescent ribbon, please let me know where to buy it. But anyway, I do think getting away from this as an idea is smart because pretty much all the card sketches look more interesting to me than that. I mean, I don't know. This card is similar to that formula, obviously. Actually, all these are kind of similar to that formula. But if you look down below, there are more interesting things going on here. I like this one. I like how a lot of things are not even. I mean, this one particularly, I like. I do like the concept of using stripes. This one I actually like a lot, even though it's sort of the same formula, but I agree. You see a lot of cards that look the same. They have limited scrapbooking stuff. I don't scrapbook, so I kind of don't care. But if you do, there might be. And the thing they're doing here that's a little weird to me is they're every so often putting full size stamp art, and I don't know why. Anyway, the idea is this goes with this, obviously, but I thought this was an interesting idea, like a pattern paper. I think I want to buy this one because I actually like this teal and coral color. I actually like this color palette a lot. I know it's the downside. I don't know. Everything is like a Pusheen color palette now for me. It's like teal and it's like pink and mint. But I do like the idea of mixing in some ephemera pieces, with just a pattern paper collection. Oh, maybe. You think so? I'll have to rewatch a video from last year. I was watching last year's because I was like, I don't even remember what that catalog looked like. And well, we should count because the video I watched last year said they had 10 suites. So once we get to suites, we'll count how many they have. But it's true. People have also said, and I don't know how much, I'm not sure how, and there's I think these are intended as tags, but they used to have a lot more packaging stuff, and there's none in this catalog. I think there's a lot of desire. I don't love the people pictures, but I do like some of this stuff. I think is cool. I think it's makes sense if you're new. I guess I don't know how many new card makers there are in the world. I feel like there are less new people. And creativity years your way is getting into the like meat of the catalog. Again, we have another. My craft room doesn't look like this. Maybe yours does. Gaz was showing me his craft room, and his is organized. Mine is anything but organized. But yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't need this. This is just me. Um, just like I would like it to be more logically oriented to like show me the things I'm interested in. But let's count these things. So we have one. I like this paper. I was kind of mad on the stamp set and then realized that I got this stamp set in like um in a workshop pack forever 2 years ago. Can you tell it's never been used? Whatever this is. Cutie, little cutie. There's some cute, I mean, like little cuties on the way. I mean, this is a baby sentiment, obviously, which is probably why I never use this. But it was like I already have orange. Like these, the art here is very similar. Anyway, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 still, 9. Yeah, so I guess nine suites, I guess, as opposed to I think they said there were 10 last year. Uh anyway, I like this paper. These metal things look like they'd be really cool embellishments on like an actual something. Yeah. Mine goes through periods of organization. I aspire to be. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. Like the catalog itself is fewer pages. Some people, I know I heard somebody say that they were excited because it would ship more inexpensively, but like when we get anyway, I thought these like bolt things were super cool. I don't think I'd use them on a card because obviously they trigger extra postage, but on something like on like a 3D make or like a mini album, like those would be cool as for like spine elements, I think, or like to do four to make it look like you bolted on the cover. Anyway, those I thought were cool. Airplanes aren't my thing; they are my parents' thing. So I don't know. I could see them liking this. I like the color palette. But again, it's sort of like, I mean, I guess this one I was kind of in sort of has the same issue as like this paper in that like, how many people am I actually going to make an airplane card for? But I don't know. I appreciate that they did like a masculine thing. This one I was kind of in the middle about. Like, I like farmers market things. I do like this hello, but I don't actually like, I don't know that there's nothing here that I'm like, oh my God, I need it. I guess if you were more into that sort of, if you were into like gardener, maybe if you're a gardener, you dig it. I don't know. This color palette I really like just because it has sort of summer into fall vibe. Um, the sentiments are very scripty, which are not usually my thing. I tend to like ones that are bolder. I mean, these are scripty too, but like, I hate cutie, but like thinking of you, like this one, I tend to like a bolder font because I feel like it's easier to read. Like these scripty fonts sometimes get lost. Although obviously it depends how you deal with them. And these things look kind of neat. They're like textured enamel dots. Um, Full of life. Like I feel like I own this paper already. In fact, it isn't, but like, where is it? Like, so you probably remember this paper from a previous live, but it is not the same. But I mean, it's the same idea, right? Like you have this like rainbow colored paper. I like some of the sentiments in here. I don't know that like I feel like I probably have those sentiments somewhere already. Um Gina K has a fabulous hexagon base like sentiment set that I really love because it's got like almost every common sentiment. But this, I think, it falls into the like I can see why you'd like it, but um, it falls into one of those like I feel like I own it already kind of vibe. But I'm trying to organize. This one I thought was cute just because my grandfather was very into ducks, but sort of outdoorsy. I think like the embellishments are kind of a nothing burger to me. Um, I do like the idea of like having ducks that you could do to actually represent different colored ducks, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I thought this one this feels very cute in spring to me, but we're kind of exiting spring. So anyway, wow, I'm just having a crafting avalanche today. Again, I feel like I could just paint these, so I don't know that I would need paper. The glitter paper looks cool. That's about what I like. I like the idea, the like semi glittery paper. Hey Cordelia, how are you? Pam and I are being salty, and Bella's here too. But like I don't know. I should actually do a tutorial on landscapes, but like this is not hard to do, right? You just have to draw where your horizon line is, and then do a bunch of like watercolors, and it's I guess I'll say it's not a very technical thing to do. So I feel like in the washes, obviously we've done those on the channel before. Like, so I feel like there's a lot of this that like you could just make this. And yeah, these are more scripty sentiments. So like again, not quite my thing. This one to me was sort of I like the idea more than the execution, I guess. Um and then this one you can't tell what's in it. But there's some really cool if you like the lumberyard pad from Cat Scrappiness, they do have where is it? Here we go. They have all these woods that are these let me bring this closer. They have wood themed things, and then there's that teal one in there for some reason. Um, but this was kind of neat. The pattern paper is neat. The birdhouse, I have a Scrappy Tails birdhouse that I've never used, so I don't think I would get much use out of birds. I don't know. Country isn't my vibe, as you probably can tell by now. But I guess if it was, you would be into it. I do like this. I like all these labels. I know you're shocked. Like me have tags? No, of course not. It's nice that they're doing labels. I guess. Again, this is probably not quite. This is a very pink color palette for me, so I don't know how. Like this wouldn't be on my top 10 list. But if you like it, I mean, I think it depends on your vibe. I do like now that I have a stamp wheel, I'm more intrigued by these double layer stamps. But I should break out the ones that I have before buying a whole bunch of new ones. Again, similar idea, just a suite with stencils. They're probably calling something cute. Decorative masks, a stencil by any other name. Which is neat, but I feel like Altenew already does this, so I don't know how unique it is, but I mean I think definitely it's definitely pretty if you don't own a floral bouquet. I feel like in my life I have a lot of better press stuff that looks very similar. I don't know that I would use happy anniversary. I don't really send happy anniversary cards, but if you do, you make my heart smile. A little too lovey for most of the cards I send. You probably know that I tend to send stuff that's more like, oops, I just ran over something. Never give up. I like that sentiment. I like hello. I don't know. I like these cards. I like these cards better. I don't know. If you love floral cards, please don't send me hate mail. I do like flowers, but I'm more of a botanical person, I guess, than a florally floral. I thought this was a neat idea where you can sort of make, tabs for things. I mean, it seems like this is sort of a mini albumy concept, and there is a punch that does it. So this I'm kind of intrigued by. Like again, if I wherever I put my thing, like I feel like this stuff would work really well with like this kind of a mini album design where you have like pages where you could like tab things if you wanted to. I mean, like again, these are kind of like a how often would you use it thing to a certain degree in my mind, but this I thought was neat because it's not a concept I'd seen before. I'm curious though, do you use your too many florals? Because I was chatting with Brennan of Brennan's Crafty Corner at one point, and he's got like more Altenew stuff than I knew existed. But it's sort of like, well, but he uses it in projects, so it's kind of like I guess that's how I feel. Like I'm more about like, what's your cost per use? This is cute. I love how there's this little cove. I think this cove die is pretty neat. And I like I yeah, I know. Like given the stuff I've been hauling lately, I like this as an idea. I like fish as an idea. They have I think there's a turtle stamp set and some other things. They're already in sort of the ocean vibe, so to me this makes sense. Um I feel like Lawn Fawn already has cutesy animals. I don't know that I would need more. This would be a kind of thing I'd buy and probably not use, but it's cute if you like that. In previous like looking at last year's catalog, like rather than having the die set this big, they would show you like full size how big the stamp set is. So like these are really small, and then when you get into this is cute. Oh, Belle would like this. Look, pocket dies. So these make gusseted pockets where you basically fold them over. Um, that would actually be kind of a cute standalone die set if you need something to make pockets. Obviously, you can just cut squares and like do this yourself. Um, I don't know about this one. This is one of those things I feel like I'd buy and then not use. Like I think there's some cute things in here. I'm curious what this one does. Because this is like this puts in score lines. I'm guessing you would then fold this up and it would be sort of an accordion something. I can't tell from any of the samples. Oh, I guess it makes these rosette thingies. Okay. No, because I remember I got something like this in one of the Graphic 45 flower packs and didn't have a clue what to do with it. Yeah, you called it. I don't know. To me, stuff like this is like if I made it, having a die would be awesome. But there's a lot of things I have dies for that I never make. I do like the pocket die. I would get use out of that. I think everybody gets a lot of use out of just a cute like gift card pocket die. I don't own one because I usually just cut it, but anyway. Ew to babies. Um, not my thing. Not a fan of babies. No babies, please. Anyway, my coworker just had a baby, but like babies are fine. Oops, my something's in view. Oh, there we go. Now we're good. So yeah. This one I saw and thought it's not a thing I've seen before, other than like obviously there's a craft roulette shopping cart one with Grindy stamps that's very similar. I don't own that one, but like I don't know that I would like I don't know what the use case is. I have some digital stamps that are grocery store themed from Greeting Farm that I've used a few times. Yeah, I agree, Cordelia. Like, let's just zoom back there for a second. I feel like you could make this on a scoreboard, right? I mean, sort of like whatever you call that, an accordion fold, like binding for a mini album. Oh, Lennox got lost and says meow. But yeah, like, do you need a die? Probably not. Pockets have the same thing. Like, do you have a circle punch? Do you have a scoreboard? You could make that. So, like, again, a lot of those things are like, well, unless you make an absolute ton of them, it wouldn't really matter. Anyway, let's bypass the babies. I do like that we're getting into a color palette that's. I have some Father's Day stuff, and I don't use it a lot, so I'm not. I don't know that I would buy Father's Day stuff explicitly at this point, just because I know it's sort of like my dad's not super into like paper crafty. My dad's just not into like cute stuff, I guess. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I like the idea. I just don't think I'd ever use this. It does look pretty. The burger. Goodness, are you done? Scooch. Don't scooch there. Now he's like literally sitting to. Oh, you can see him. He's right here. No, he's not supposed to be on the desk. It doesn't mean he's not on the desk. He's just not supposed to be it on the desk. Um, yeah, both of these, like, I like these concepts. It's just like I don't know that I would get a lot of use out of it. I also picked up there's a Spellbinders die that was a TV that I got on clearance. Anyway, some really nice nature stuff. I do like these a lot. But I have Simon Hurley butterfly dies, so I don't know that I would buy more butterfly dies unless I wanted a specific butterfly. These little circle thingies are cute, although I have like I feel like a lot of this stuff is like I have a nesting circle die, so I could just use that. Um I do like the I like the idea of a butterfly that's landing on the plant, but there's also no like there aren't dies that go with it, although Scan and Cut is my friend and does all that stuff. Um More nature stuff. Again, I feel like I own a lot. I mean, like I don't know. This die actually. Oh, you can't see it because of Lennox's butt, sir. Wow. We'll just move you. There you are. This was actually the cover plate die that I think was used for that cool deer card we made a while back that came in a kit from the swap. Although I found two other forest cover plate dies in my stash when I was looking for things. So, you know, to me, it's one of those. It's neat, but, do I already own it? Ditto for trees. I mean, I like nature stuff, so I have a lot of nature stamps already. More florals. This I thought was cool. I do like ocean stuff, so I like these sand dollars because I don't think I have sand dollars. And you have sort of realistic looking sea stars. I think there's a turtle set that has more sketchy ones, but I like this. I don't know that again, like it's one of these hybrid embossing folders that'll cut out the things that it embosses, which I saw someone do a card with it and it looked pretty cool. Again, like nautical is a thing that I like. Oh, I missed your comment, Cordelia. Let me get the cat off my lap for a second, because yeah, I mean they know what they're not supposed to do. They just do it anyway because they're cats. But like here you see like sort of the idea. I don't know. Like I'm just not a fan of decor pieces, I guess. Like because I'm just not that person who redecorates their house for every season and like looks at the cute stuff in the dollar bin at Target. I'm just not that person. And then we get into returning stuff. I'm glad that they brought back some of their beachy nautical stuff because that's kind of a theme I'm obsessed with. Flower, flower, flower. This crafting with you set was interesting. I passed on it because I already had some crafting stuff. Already had the crafting quokkas from Cat Scrappiness, but I don't know. It's a cute idea, I guess, if you don't own crafting related paraphernalia. But Lala showed me a doodlebug thing that's pretty cute. There's cute cows if that's your vibe. I didn't know about that one. I'm glad the Gone Fishing thing came back because I have a kit to do with that, where someone else did all the work. I also thought this hot air. I'm glad they brought back the hot air balloons one as well, just because it seems like the hot air balloon and the airplane stuff would go really well together. Oh, this is that card I showed you. This is actually the stamp that was on. The other options were these motorcycles, but like I don't really know anyone who cycles. The lavender stuff came back. I don't know. There's probably not much to talk about. Then you get into these interesting sort of like, you know, sort of technique pages, which I'm not sure why, but like some of I mean, like these are all the background stamps are together. I do like the idea of putting the background stamps together, and then they do that later with, or not. I think there's a page that does that same concept with the embossing folders, except I can't find it. Maybe it's here. This is a cool stamp set. I'm debating this one too. Basically, it does these sort of interesting little vignettes of like the ocean and the sky. I don't know. It also kind of falls into the couldn't I just paint or draw that? I don't see it, but I know that there's a page that has all the embossing folders on it too. This is the one that has the not botanically accurate, or not botanically is the wrong word. Not physically accurate sea stars, right? You have like that. And then I do like the sea turtle. Sorry, that's glaring. This has been around for a while. Let's see if I can find that. I probably can't. And then there's just a lot of these technique pages. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure I love the idea of these being kids stamp sets either, because I would probably buy all of these. I mean, I don't know what that says about me, but I think that's kind of it. Like there are some pages that have, I don't know where they're at, but oh, here we go. Like they do have pages like this that show you like all the embellishments at like actual size, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. I own a lot of embellishments already. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not like super into the technique pages. I feel like, oh wow, we are really crooked today. I don't know. It's neat. Like I guess I don't know. Like I guess my highlights are really the paper. I know that shocks you, but like where were we at? I guess that's sort of how I feel. Like this is a hard catalog. This is much more. This catalog reminds me of we had a Pottery Barn. Okay, so this paper is one of my favorites, and I think it's this paper and this paper, and like these two papers. I think are my two favorites in the catalog, probably. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, it reminds me, we had a pure one that was intentionally like hard to find things. Like you knew where the like glassware section was, but like everything was inside a nook and cranny. That's what this catalog reminds me of. It's like it's much more designed to peruse than to actually like be a place you would go to find things to buy. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe. And I didn't talk about that. Like, do I have my color wheel quickly at hand? Maybe. Oh, I know where it is. Hang on. So like here's a boring normal color wheel. Mine is a cyan magenta one, not a other ways one. But I mean, like all these craft brands, wherever I get to the color theory page, right? Like I like that you know where things are, but I would say like if you're new, like buy a real color wheel and like look at it, take a color theory class, and you're gonna have a nicer time. And I would have aligned yellow at the top because I always think yellow is the warmest color. Everything else is cool. Hello, Maria. How are you? But like I would say, you know, having this to know where colors fit is great, but I would Yeah, I'm still I don't know. I'm still more of a like just play with a color wheel, you know? Page 43. Let's see what that is. Oh yeah. Is very that definitely jumps out at you for sure. I think these are actually really cool ideas for a card, right? You take sort of a busy background and then you just like put sort of a toned down vocal piece. Like this one with the tag is really cool. There's some cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff I like in this for sure. I always question though, like if you go too far down the path of, I want everything to coordinate, then I feel like you kind of get yourself into like a box, right? Now, like pretty much every kit does that. So, I mean, I don't know that that's inherently good or bad, but I mean, I think it's always good to sort of say, you know, to sort of say, like, I don't know, like, I really like this card. What do I like about this card? Do I like the shape? Do I like the amount of brightness versus the border? You know what I mean? Like I feel like in terms of figuring out what you like, you're better served by kind of like dissecting things. But anyway, I don't know. I'll probably do an unboxing whenever I buy stuff. Hey, mommy guide, how are you? I was just wrapping up, but it's good to see you. I was just walking through the new Stampin' Up catalog and complaining about the amount of like random pictures of people. But I'm actually coming back in about an hour to we're gonna take a look at a new card kit. So I'm gonna have a Ustream and just sort of spend craft for 2 hours because it's a kit that makes 12 cards in three different designs. So I think it'll be interesting to see how well it works. I instantly liked it because the woman who was doing the demo video on how to put it together has exactly the same paper cutter I have. So anyway, I'll be back for that. Feel free to rewatch this if you want. I think my takeaway is there are things I really like. I really like their paper, basically, and some of their stamps are really cute. Some of they have there's a lot of florals, and if you use florals, you'll probably like that. But anywho, that's all I have for you guys at the moment. I'll be back later, and we can do some crafting stuff. And hey, Carrie, welcome. Yeah, I walked through it. So, but I sort of blazed through the technique at the end. They added a bunch of technique pages that I thought were that I kind of blazed through because I mean, I don't know. They're not a thing I would read. I guess I feel like I'm very old school. Like I want a catalog where I like go to the section, it tells me the stuff they're selling. So I feel like I don't know. I feel like this was not written with me in mind, but I think Pam, I think nailed it in that it's there's some pages in here. I'll show you one just because we're here. I'll show you two actually, if I can find it. Eh, not that page. Not that page. Not that page. Not that page. I know the page I want exists. I just don't know where. Oh, here we go. Like I feel like pages like this would be really appealing to me if I were still really new. I'd be like, okay, well, I can buy this ephemera and these cards, and then I can glue them together, and I'll be done. And I do like that they added that. I'll show you the funny thing. I just put myself over the demonstrator, because I'm that kind of person. But no, I mean, like having friends you can talk to about crafting should be number one, not number 10. But I like that they have sort of a here's some essentials pages. So I like that they added stuff that would be good if you were just like totally new to card making. But I still find you know oh well, you can catch me later, Lala, or tomorrow. I guess it's probably It's super late where you are, right? Because it's like, well, it must be like, I mean, it's like late at night because when you usually your evening streams are earlier in the day than now. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think this idea of everything coordinating is really appealing if you're new, because I think, like, at least what I did is I bought 70 different things, and then you're kind of like, well, I bought all these things that are cute, and I did it without any concept of how any of it will go together. And I mean, that was kind of on me at the time, right? Like, the smart move is to say, let me find inspiration and just buy the stuff related to the inspiration. But, I didn't do that, and I bet a lot of people don't. They say, like, well, this is pretty and that's pretty, and now I have 7 pretty things, but oops, that's not a color scheme. But anyway, it was great talking to all you guys. I will probably be back soonish, and we can make some Mother's Day cards. If you know mothers or are looking for mothers. I guess not if you're looking for mothers, because everyone has one, at least. But I always send Mother's Day cards to my couple of my aunts as well who have kids, just because I know they really appreciate them. But anyway, it's great to chat with you guys, and I will see you back to play with a Club Scrap kit, which is a brand I knew nothing about, but they gave away swag at my crop. And then I was talking to Delise, who apparently they've been a huge thing since the 90s, and they were like on the Carol Duvall show, and like they're like fancy like OG scrapbooker people. So it'll be interesting to check that out and see um, if I can figure out what direction of grain paper is, because they work off 12 by 12, so you actually have an option. It's like no one ever really talks about it with 8.5 by 11, because you're just sort of like a little bit stuck. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, but it was great to see all you guys. Talk to you in an hour or so.